Let's see if the stream's up. Come on, pray with me. My Wi-Fi, please work. Hopefully I'm not updating anything. No, my YouTube is just being cringy right now. No, YouTube is actually just offline. What the hell? Oh, there we go. Yippee! We're here! We're here! After a small issue with it. Roy shows up. Good luck. Thank you, Roy. Thank you for showing up before your work. I hope you like the Instagram post where I slandered you for being at work. I'm joking. I put a little thing just saying Roy fans should be upset that he's not showing up. But, hold on while I eat some sugar. I'm sorry, these sweets are really chewy. Hello? I just vibe into the music right now. Here's my little pre-race little thing that happens. I'm doing like little jazz hands right now. Anyway. Whew. Wow then. Wow, what have we got here? We have our race round here today on Monza. If you were following us on our Instagram account, you would know that Roy isn't going to be here. I let that slide a bit early today because he's missed so many races. He's going to be so far behind in Drivers' Championship. It's funny at this point. Anyway. Welcome back, everyone. Nice to see you all here. Speaking of Instagram, do follow us over there. Very cool content coming up on that for you all. Hopefully some more content with some data tabulation stuff, if you're into that. Some driver comparisons. When I get the time, I'll put it up there, because it is me who runs it, because I'm very cool like that. And yeah, I mean, do go check that out. It's very cool. I will try and link it to the YouTube, but I don't think I can right now. But it is League of MVP over on Instagram. If you are interested, do go check it out. Very cool. Welcome to Monza. I like this circuit. And a lot of people like this circuit because it's quick, and we love quick in F1, don't we? I have my little pre-race brief I'm going to read out, and then I'm going to read out my own pre-race brief. While we're loading in. Try and do a little bit of a crofty intro. to the race weekend, but I will inevitably fail. But if you like it, I'll continue doing it. So we'll see how it plays out. Do a little bit of funny intro. And yeah, I mean, let's see how it goes. I mean, with some interesting stuff, I've talked to some of the drivers before the race today, and they're all very, very dull because they think this is going to be an easy snag for Mercedes today. But I say, don't get your hopes too down. I helped a few of them out with their setups. Taught David how to read a textbook. And yeah, I mean, very exciting stuff. Yeah. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we have a good race on our hands today. Oh, and I should say something, but I'll leave it till later. As you can see, firstly, it is a short qualifying, which is our 18-minute qualifying with a normal race of 27 laps, which I got wrong. So, yeah, normal race distance, no sprint race weekend, so we're not changing the race distance. However, when it comes to red flag safety, our red flags are still on standard. We're yet to have a red flag this season, which I find very upsetting. Will today be the day we get a red flag? I hope so. However, the safety car is on reduced. Now you're saying, Dave, this isn't a street track? I say then yes, you are correct. However, due to an influx amount of safety cars occurring in the last couple of races, we held a driver conference and took a vote on the future and implementation of safety cars currently. And it is decided that we are going to run reduced safety car for the remainder of the season. And it should be noted that major rule changes such as this during the season are uncommon. They only happen usually in the mid-season or at the end of the season. And I think we are approaching the mid-season, but that change was necessary for the drivers to feel like it wasn't just a lottery every race. So hopefully after today we'll get their feedback on this rule change, or at least the ones in the podium, which hopefully we should get some new faces. I hope Monza's a good track to get a first win at, so I wouldn't be so surprised if we got a like, I don't know, a Snoopy podium or a Dave Alvin podium. But I'm commentating, I can't get podium. Or a Dino podium. I have a Atari podium would be nice. Hello to all 5 of you. Oh my god, there's people in the stream so early. Welcome. The Instagram post must be doing numbers. That or all the drivers are just coming in to say good luck. Nonetheless, nice to see you all here. Nice to have you all. So, what the plan is for today is, what's going to come from me is there's going to be an amazing commentary of short qualifying and the 27-lap race. Then we're going to do post-race interviews with the drivers, and that's going to be fun. That's what's going to happen today. Around a beautiful track as well, Monza. Beautiful track, lots to say about it. I have a lot of memories around this track, of a lot of amazing moments, of a lot of previous leagues, of amazing battles, fights coming down to points over championship, points, like race to race being for the championship. It's amazing. We love to see it. But will we see this today? Who knows? But a very important thing to note, actually, Mercedes and Haas are on equal points going into this race in the Constructors' Championship. Yes, it's nowhere near the end of the season, and these points aren't. It's nice to build these points up, but this is where advantages are made, people, by small margins or massive margins, depending on what happens. It seems like we're going to get going in a minute, so I'm going to say okay to the voice chat being suspended. I'm going to pull up my personal pre-race brief before I read Roy's pre-race brief. So I'm going to try and do a lot of pre-race brief with the help of Wikipedia. So bear with me if this sounds like I am just reading a script, because I am. Anyway, hopefully I write a little script next time if you like this. But yes, well, everybody, while the screen fades to black, take a deep breath because welcome everybody to round 5 of League of MVP Season 8 round here at Monza. Built in the Royal Villa of Monza Park in a woodland setting, this site holds 3 tracks. It holds the junior track, the high-speed oval track, the Grand Prix track being the main track we're racing around today. The track is 5.793 kilometers, or for you Americans, 3.6 miles long, with 27 laps to go around today for our race distance. Qualifying will last 18 minutes with reduced safety cars and standard red flags. No sprint race will be happening today. That's all I really have to say. I gave it a little bit of stuff. Oh, corners of note include Curva Grande, Escari, Curva de Lesmo, and Alboreto, previously Parabolica, and it's wet, of course, for God's sake. The drivers are I said to the drivers, I was speaking to a lovely handful of drivers before the session today, and I said, what's the chance it rains today here, lads? And they said, if it rains, I retire. Well, David, I know that you said that you were going to retire. I hope you don't retire, because, yeah, take a look at those intermediate tyres quickly while I enable all our tabulation data. No, I want the lap data, I don't want telemetry. Here we go. Anyway, what Roy has sent me for his pre-race brief, I will quickly read, because it'll have a bit more targeted information for you all. Welcome, everybody, to Season 8, Race 5 of Monza. It's the 5th race of the season at Monza. Mark is leading the Drivers' Championship, and Mercedes are tied with Haas for the lead of the Constructors, 6 points ahead of Williams in 3rd. And then following a vote that occurred last week, the decision has been made to continue with the remainder of the season with safety car reduced on all tracks. I've already said all that. Roy will unfortunately be missing another race due to his work currently. But he promises he will return next week, and the current standings are linked below, which I don't really need to go over too much, because we'll go over them during the race where appropriate. But, here we go, wet qualifying. Let's see what we have with two. Speaking to Jens' teammate earlier, I just sounded like Yoda then. Josh Morton seems pretty confident that Alpine supremacy could land today with a wet qualifying, especially with what happened last week's race. Mark could really take an easy pole position here, even though he's proficient in the wet. So talking to some drivers after the race, and the tyre warm-up is definitely going to be difficult here in qualifying, trying to get those tyres up to temperature, and especially keeping the cool on the running laps in the right temperature range. Okay, let's see here. We're going to go on board at the end for the first lap. Here we go, cross the line. Going now, long straight. DRS here, massive. Overtaking opportunity coming up here into the braking zone of turn 1 and 2. Chicane. Going to be a big area of concern today. I hope you're enjoying your mac and cheese. Now going into Curva Grande. Another good opportunity about to come up here, going into the chicane here. If you notice, there's a lot of chicanes on this track. I don't know the name of this chicane. I might be called Tamborello, but I might not be remembering correctly. Going now into the two Lesmos, another area of minor concern, especially here in the wet, with Spinella moments. Lots of places to spin, and Spinella is Italian word for a reason, because this is the Italian track. Going now onto another long straight, not as long as the first one, but long enough to get some decent overtaking opportunities. Going now into the braking zone of Escari. Got to take it pretty nice round here, and does so pretty well, does Jens. Going down now, the third long straight here to end it out, going into Parabolica. I'm still going to call it Parabolica because that's what it is in my heart. And now cross the line for the base setting lap time of a 1:26.754. I think there is some more pace to be had there. but we will find out as a few more drivers are about to come across the line. I think it's a Williams here of Sign, taking a pretty good line out of Parabolica. Going to put it up there, but not quite far off the pace, actually. I mean, pace. 128.293 Oechi, a 126.687. The Alfa Romeo jumping to the top of the timing screens. And speaking of top of the timing screens, there goes Josh Morton, 125.965. Yellow flags in sector 2 at the chicane there. AJ, a 125.926. Haas now holds that top spot. Speaking of some other times that have come through, Burmeister P3 126.339. Dino a 128.278 P8. Team Red 127.599 P7. And David just slotting it in there, P3 below that. Alpine of Josh at 126.177. Non-Bread 126.558 P5 has just come through there. Cami, actually, more importantly, Lazy about to come take the line here for probably pole position. Never mind. Invalid lap? Oh no, it was a lap. Here we go. Sorry, I just didn't see it change. It's a 126.285 P4 for Lazy. We'll see that time after shoot up surely. Cami 127.760 as the escape road is taken. And no, that escape road is impossible. He accepts defeat. Dino 128.278. P13 unlucky for some, but not for all. Mitch, who I talked to before the race, 126.396. P7 currently. And I think that sums up everything. I'll sign a 126.005 P3. I think I have caught you all up successfully. Swampy on a lap. So is Snoopy, but Swampy in front, so we'll take a look at that. Swampy, about to go through Parabolica. I'm going to keep calling it Parabolica. I'm going to keep saying I'm going to keep calling it Parabolica, so that if anyone joins, they don't get mad at me. Or if Roy watches this, he can't get mad at me. Swampy, across the line for McLaren. It's a 126.628, puts him P11, below Team Red, outside the top 10. If this was normal standard qualifying, may raise some concerns. Snoopy, P18 currently with an invalid lap time, no time set even. So we have a few more drivers on out laps. Smidge is who we are currently looking at here, letting the Haas by, who is presumably on an in lap, or the Haas letting the AlphaTauri by. I can't know. There's the AlphaTauri letting the Haas by. Excuse me. So, no wet weather casualties just yet. And no corner casualties especially, which is a good thing. These drivers are handling this very well, and I say that, but I think there's a Red Bull that has gone around Ascari. Yes, it has. Burmeister gone around Ascari and lost a nose cone. Keeping off of the track because those tyres are rendered useless now. He won't be too happy with that, I don't think. I thought I saw a spin there, but to no avail. Snoopy actually on another lap. It might be an in lap. I think it might be. It's looking a bit slow, if I'm completely honest with you. I'm going to guess this might be an in lap, unless, and it's invalid anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Snoopy struggling with track limits, just can't get a hold on it. It seems like drivers aren't really pitting as well. Are the conditions due better? Usually if the conditions are due better, it's usually one and then straight in, waiting for the transover, the crossover period even, not transover. Lazy going fastest, a 125.738. They're not coming in, they're all staying out on track. I think Smidge might have just been impeded a bit there. Or I don't know what's happening anymore. Anywho, we keep the trainer going. Smidge, I think, is on a competitive lap time. Never mind, going very wide, but not invalid. But that will not be good for the lap time. AlphaTauri, being an Italian team, might struggle out here today for a lap time. I'm just constantly scanning up and down the leaderboards to see if any positions have changed. I don't think they have. I think there was an AlphaTauri that actually just jumped up the order. Where is it? Never mind. I am blind. There's the AlphaTauri down in 14th now. And that AlphaTauri is invalid. And Kevin Cow coming up on this back here. That's going to have to move out the way. And I don't think they're going to move out the way. Although I think he won't be complaining too much, because he's getting a tow right down the main straight here. I don't think he will be, because this lap is going to put him 212 and 126.653. Not too bad, but there's definite room for improvement. And there's some talk about room for improvement. There's some needed down here. Snoopy, Smidge, and Hamby not even setting a lap yet. Lazy still out on track. I think he's just crossed the line again. Lazy's really trying to get the maximum lap time out of these tires. That camber looks really high on the. It looks quite high on those fronts. Let me get a view of that. I want to see the front camber. Like, no comment. No comment. Who eats mac and cheese with ketchup? Who eats mac and cheese with ketchup? Anyway. Mitch has invalidated. Non-bred on a lap. Purple sector 2. Mercedes could be cooking up a stormer here. Let's see. Going down in the straight. Getting a tow here by an AlphaTauri. Gonna shoot off now. Does non-bred round Parabolica? Is it too much speed going into Parabolica? No. Handles it just fine. Through goes non-bred. Where's this going to put him? P2. It's a provisional front row lookout for Mercedes at the minute. A 125.738 and a 125.781 for Mercedes. Non-bred has really stepped it up this race, and I've just witnessed a massacre. We've claimed our first victim, I think, to Parabolica, which is very unfortunate, but it was due course. Unlucky, Swampy. So McLaren, obviously having one driver down, it might be that Swampy starts from the back, and McLaren score no points for, what is this, maybe the third consecutive weekend? Due to Roy's absence. This is really bad performance from McLaren. I'm sorry, Swampy, it's not your fault, I know. Anyway, AJ on a lap now into turn 1. I'm going to put all the pressure on him. Through to turn 1 now goes AJ. Takes it pretty well. Turn 1 and 2, I should say. Turn 3. Curva Grande going round, not Ariana Grande, Curva Grande going round now, takes it pretty well, no slip and slide in occurring here. AJ having a few issues with setup before the race began, had to help him out a little bit, held the purple sector with the Red Bulls of, I assume, Burmeister behind, snatching it up off him, going round, takes the Lesmos pretty well, no sign of slipping or sliding occurring here. Going now round into Ascari, into the braking zone for Ascari. How well is this going to go? Ooh, hits a little bit of the sausage curb, but it's all good. Hasn't disturbed the car. Hits the rumble strip. All good. Invalidated though. Took a bit too much on the rumble strip. So I think a wedgie P2, a 125.754. Oechi pulling out some pace here from what seems to be nowhere. Burmeister should be on for a flyer according to the purple sector being snatched off AJ, and it's looking to be so if he can keep this pace to the line. It's definitely positional improvement. It's positional improvement to P3 at 125.754, tied with Oechi. We have two drivers with the same lap time. What are the odds of that? And Hamby just goes P1 like he does. This is really taking a toll. And then David goes better than Lazy with a 125.577. But we still have two drivers with the exact same lap time, and that amazes me. Mercedes needs to pull out a blinder in a few minutes if they want to get something done here, and they've only got 4 minutes to do so. So, the other one, P17 with a 127, when the top, we're looking at a 125. Unlucky AlphaTauri at the minute. And oh my god, here's a traffic jam for you. An Alfa Romeo, an Aston Martin of Mitch, a Red Bull in a wall, which I assume to be Burmeister. Yes, it was. No front wing damage. Can he continue? I think so. I'm just looking around. Cammy, I think it might be on a competitive lap time here. It's very hard to tell around Monza if it's competitive or not. Everything just looks so fast down the straights. But it seems to be adding up to a competitive lap time here. It feels like I could feel in my controller the car starting to slide out at him through the corner, but he's just about managed it. Is this going to be any positional improvement? It's not. It's down by 3/10, but no positional gain for Aston Martin. Speaking of the Aston Martins, here's the other one of Mitch going out round on a lap now. Let's take a look-see here. Going round through Curvagone, done very nicely into the braking zone of 4 and 5, taken outstandingly. A little bit of a slide correction there from the front, does so very nicely though. Lesmo 1 taken with great care. Lesmo 2 to follow suit, takes it very well, doesn't invalidate, which is very, very good. The cause of most invalidations now a Scary chicane. Let's see if Mitch is going to get through. Braking heavy now into 1, into part 2, into part 3. Does it very, very well. Doesn't invalidate. Takes it very close to the track limits on the exit of the third complex, but does it very, very well. Congratulations. Now into Parabolica. I've already forgotten what the other name for it was, but I don't care. Going round. Takes it very nice, stays off the rumble strip, just a bit precautionary, and there's a Red Bull that has been crashed out, and Oechi has retired. I don't know whether that was in the pit lane or not. That was a P11. I think Mitch was already P11 though. Josh Morton's retired from the session. And there's still that Red Bull in the wall. Is that Kevin Cow? No, it was Burmeister, I think. A little bit of beaching maybe. So we've lost Oechi and Josh in the span of a couple of seconds. What is going on? They are out of qualifying, and I don't think they're out of qualifying willingly. Unless they believe that there is literally no room for improvement and the track condition is worsening. To which I say, how do you know that? That was just Dino putting in a lap time at long last, a 126.424. Respectable P13, unlucky for some. Now, the people who have DNF will qualify where they have currently set positions. Smidge has retired from the session, and that seems to be like a crash on the pit straight. Let's take a look on the hash. Let's see if it is a crash on pit straight. No, it's a retirement in the pit lane. That makes a bit more sense to me, running in P18 and pretty sure no positional improvement. Right. Hamby's invalid. Is going to not try and set another lap. David is invalid, but is going to try and set a lap. And Nambred's invalid, so Nambred will not get the chance to set another lap. Lazy is currently on a lap. And it's looking pretty good. David then challenging Hamby for pole. Lazy challenging Hamby for pole. Burmeister taking to the pit lane now. AJ as well on a lap time, down 115 thousandths, I think, if I'm correct in saying. But still some point in the lap to go. The Hasses are a bit further back, so we'll take a look at Lazy coming out of Parabolica now. Let's see what happens going down across the main line. It's a pole position. That was pretty cool, unironically. A 125.437 puts him at the top. David and AJ have a chance to deny, but will it happen? I don't think so. AJ, I think is a tad too slow. But it's P2 for AJ. Where does David stick it is the real question here. We'll go over the rest of the grid. AJ puts it P2. Will the Haas be able to support his fellow Haas on the front row or from the second row? Let's find out. And David takes pole position over Lazy. Yeah, it's Haas Mercedes, Haas Williams Mercedes. We have some of our biggest contenders up the front supporting each other today. Non-Red really stepping the game up a notch today. And David managing to stick it on pole position. This should be interesting. We have both Mercedes and both Haas's at the front for a race. I don't think this has happened yet. It might have, but it wasn't very long. But they're here occupying the front 3 rows on the grid with a Williams in between to add fuel to the fire. Let's see what happens. But just before we do, let's give everyone the appreciation they deserve and go over the starting grid for the Grand Prix. Of course, David taking pole position there right at the end off Lazy P2 though, and AJ David's teammate backing him up from the second row in P3. Hamby P4 causing some trouble to the Mercedes Haas dynamic with Narbred behind. Alechi then 6th, Burmeister 7th, Josh 8th, Snoop 9th, Unbeaten Sign 10th, Mitch 11th, Kevin Cow 12th, Team Red 13th, Jens 14th, Dino 15th, Swampy 16th, Candy 17th, and Smidge 18th. I'm having a bit of a stroke, but it just shows I'm excited because we have an interesting race and hopefully it dries up. I hope it does. The drivers will be begging to the gods that it dries up because they do not want to be having another wet race. I know they don't. Ooh, hey, it's dry. The drivers rejoice. The drivers rejoice. Anyway, this is where the stuff goes down. So welcome all 5 of you to the stream. You've joined us just in time for the main event, the race, although some people prefer the qualifying more. But the race, nonetheless. The race, capitalized in inverted commas. But we have an interesting race. We have Mercedes Haas at the front with a Williams in the mixer. We're going to create some hell of a fiery smoothie today. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And of course, the rest of the grid. How can we forget? Let's see some interesting fights emerge from that midfield and back as well. But we're going to see a proper showdown from the front in a dry setting with reduced safety cars. Hopefully no crashes on the first lap. And here we go. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5. And we're green in Monza. David taking a pretty good start. Lazy not too far behind though. AJ maybe getting a jump on Lazy here. They're going side by side. And it's nearly 3 wide going to that first corner. But David takes the lead. AJ trying to go down the inside for the second corner. Doesn't really work out. Lazy gets the run out. AJ remains third. Nanbred gains a position into 4th. We seems to have lost Hamby out of the mixer. It's now just a showdown between the Haas and the Mercedes. Alechi qualifying really well. Currently P5. Josh in the Alpine P6. Let's take a quick look. Gander up the front again. Nanbred following behind AJ quite closely, although David's starting to beat the gap a bit from Lazy. Alechi here also trying to maintain in this battle. What have we got going on lower down the grid? I see an Alpine, I see a Williams getting in a bit of a scrap. I saw some interesting stuff. Hamby obviously getting into that incident on the first lap. We have Team Red and Dino there. Dino making up a position on Jens. We'll move back towards the front as we go down the main straight. As we see Josh here on Alechi in the slipstream. No DRS yet, of course, so as that activates after lap 3 of the race, or 3 laps after the safety car has come in. for safety reasons. Then everyone has survived the first lap. Congratulations. But here we go behind here. Unbeaten Sign and Burmeister putting on the burners and managing to zoom right past Unbeaten Sign. Not past the Alpine yet, but does it nicely before the braking zone. No major catastrophes caused there. But speaking of major catastrophes, here is one that has just occurred. And it involved Snoopy into turn 1 and 2. Didn't happen on the first lap, but it happens on the second. There was an AlphaTauri zipping down the inside there. I think it might have been Cammy, actually. But one of the Alphas. No, it's Mitch. It was definitely Mitch. Doing some moves and making them pay off as well. Well done, Mitch. I have to check the replay on that after the stream. That looks very nice. Down the inside, quick change to the outside. Snoopy making up a position there on Team Red after that little bit of a Spinella moment. Let's take a look at the front. Nothing's really changed. David's building that gap. Lazy's trying to chase, but AJ and Nambred are chasing him, which is going to add a very interesting dynamic to this race. Usually I have a co-commentator step in so I can catch my breath, but I can't really do that, so you're just going to have to bear with just like this sort of commentary for a minute. Here we go. Look at this little pack back here. A little bit feisty here. David setting the fastest lap. We have a McLaren here of Swampy. Up 2 positions from starting. Here's your DRS enabled. This lap, here we go. Here goes Swampy on Dino. Is he going to be able to hold a little bit of ERS? Might be able to have here. The Ferrari was closing in there. Closing in down to the side of Dino, actually. Tries to stick a nose down the outside. Inside now, turned outside. Doesn't really pay off, sadly. Smidge gets past Cammy. Cammy, unfortunately, all the way down in P18. It's in a long topple down. For Canada, has been 1 position down. But speaking of a long topple down, Hamby, very unfortunately got caught up in the mixer, as we call it. And that has happened. And what has happened up here, Nambred has gone off today. Lazy losing out a position to his teammate, and AJ losing out a position to Nambred as well. This is very interesting. You've got a half sandwich, people. It's been a while since I've managed to fit in the sandwich pun anywhere. But you have it here. The question is, are the Mercedes playing the team game or are they on the fight? I think they're on the fight. Nambred on the softs, definitely helping off the start. Lazy on the medium. Let's quickly get a quick look at the tyres. I have heard from some of the drivers the mediums get really bad towards the end of their stint, so it's optimal to pit out of them early. So people are saying medium hard, but I suggest an alternate soft hard. But the drivers didn't really like that because they said the softs only last about 10 laps. One of the people who said that won't work was AJ. And Mitch actually said it more, but AJ agreed. And look who's on the soft compound now, AJ, huh? And he's gone straight on through the chicane. And it compromises exit, and it's going to let Nambred through on the soft compound. And it's happened. No, it hasn't happened, actually. The AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo even, trying to come through on the Mercedes. And it might happen here. Side by side, going down the straight. Little bit of battery here could help either of them out. The DRS helping out Oechi massively. Going into the braking zone for Ascari. Mercedes goes in front. And that will be the end of that attempt for a hot minute. But there's your tyre field. Somebody running the hard compound towards a longer stint, maybe. For Jens, Dino, and Smidge onto the softs in the final stint. Burmeister, you might have just seen there side by side with an Alpine, still side by side with the Alpine, still trying to get his nose ahead. There was a shove there. I think that might have been the Alpine, and it has been done. Burmeister gets through, Kevin Cow gets through, and Sign gets through. Kevin Cow actually having to fight for this a little bit more than I think he was thinking he would, and eventually has conceded in the fight there going into turn 1, realizing that safety is a bit more of a priority here. Let me get off these tyres for you. Hopefully you've had to take a good gander at them. But Nambred into the slot. The Mercedes sandwich has been disrupted for now. David is flying 3.0 away from Lazy. I've heard some rumours that some 0-0 wings might be being used around here today. which is good because we get fast cars and we get unreliable cars because they are slidey. 0-0 wings essentially means all top speed, no grip. So all the cars are going to be really, really slidey, and they're not going to be able to use their downforce very well. The top speed is more prioritizing the flow of the air around the car to make it so that the car punctures a more efficient hole in the air, whereas a more downforce oriented car is where the wings are used in a more mechanical way to generate mechanical grip through downforce. A little bit of physics for you all there. Thought I'd slip it in. Been reading up on my aerodynamics recently. Because why not? He goes unbeaten sign on Burmeister. Little bit of slipstream here. Should be able to help out. DRS was open. Takes a look, but doesn't get to any avail, sadly, for the Williams. Mitch currently running P11, hasn't changed position. The only other people who have not changed position currently in the race, David, Lazy, AJ, and Cammy, although they have changed, but they have remained in neutral position. And I think Josh just making an overtake to make my statement false. So well done, Josh. You've invalidated my statement. Congratulations, you won a medal. Burmeister now. Going, gaining, not gaining. Welchy. Actually, yawn, I'm sorry. I was halfway through a sentence. Welchy doing work in that Alfa Romeo, managing to keep it up in P5 as well. Very, very impressive drive so far. Let's see if we can maintain that for the remainder of the 20 laps we have here around Monza. I hope you're all enjoying the time right now. I think this track is amazing. And I think this could be our first race going without a safety car. If the racing keeps like this, it's tight, but it's not a mess. Here goes Narmbred on AJ, and maybe even on the teammate. No avail for Narmbred. Although I did say this the other day, Narmbred shouldn't... Oh, 3 wide! Hold on, excuse my witty banter. A wedge, she's sliding through on AJ. Massive capitalization. And then went 3 wide, Awetji, AJ, and Burmeister. Burmeister getting the short end of the stick. AJ losing out 2 positions there into that chicane. Could we have a surprise podium by Awetji? Let's see how his race turns out. Anyway, back to my witty banter. Narmbred should not be Narmbred. If you've watched across the Spider-Verse, you know that Chai Tea means tea. Narmbred means bread. So, yeah. It's the same thing. Yellow flag in Sector 2. It's an Aston Martin. It's Mitch. Oh no, what's happened to Mitch? He's the wrong way around. He needs to get moving. Waits for all the cars to get by, and he's been plonked down to P18, unfortunately, in the same realm as Cammy currently. Very unfortunate for Alpha? Aston Martin, there we go. So many A teams. Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, Alpha Tauri. Haas might as well be called Haas. Anyway, it looked like the Mercedes were fighting for a second here, but I don't think they realise the more these Mercedes try and fight, the more they're letting David away, which I think they're aware about, because I know these drivers and they're very smart, but I think there has been a strategical passing here for Mercedes. I think Lazy was letting Narmbred through, so Narmbred has a chance on catching David on the faster compound tyre currently, so that Lazy can catch long term through the battling. I think that's what they're going for here in Awetji. Is now left to deal with Lazy defending, and AJ, poor AJ, has been left to sink. He wasn't feeling confident coming into this race, but I empathise with him greatly, I really do. But it is the Mercedes currently who are as packed in as Cheetos in a packet. I don't know. I was trying to think of a simile. I was thinking like packed snow, but no, I couldn't think of anything. Here go the Mercedes again. I don't think there's any team orders here. I think they're just battling for the sake of battling. And I don't think they realize what they're doing by doing this. They're... Actually, okay, there's 2 possible outcomes. They're battling for the sake of battling, there's no team orders. 2, they're doing slingshot strategies. For those who are unaware, slingshotting is where, on the straights usually, you let one car with the DRS usually past and effectively slingshot past you, and the other car will do that on the next lap, and it slowly pulls you away from the rest of the grid and makes you slightly faster in order to catch the car in front, which is what Lazy and Nambred will want to be doing to catch David. But this will leave Awetzi in a very difficult situation if this slingshotting does continue. Out of DRS, under threat by AJ, which will cause more fighting, backing up the grid even more. And here you go, look at these Mercedes, they're running very close, but look at it, right? Burmeister actually getting really close to AJ. I'm so sorry I'm spending so much time at the front of the grid, but right now, that's kind of where most of it's happening. Let's give a little bit of appreciation down here, right? Let's give a little bit of appreciation. There goes an Alpine taking a look, I think that was Josh Morton. But Smidge has made up 6 places in the race after a very bad qualifying, admittedly. Making up 6 places is pretty huge, so congratulations, Smidge. You've done a good job. I'm looking to the top 10, we see a bit more spacing, but the more we go up, the more we start to enter the DRS train territory, which is where we lie with our current top finishers, aka the Mercedes, which are actually catching by about a 10th or so a lap, would be my rough eyeball estimate. So give it about 20 laps, which you don't have. So Red Bulls? Excuse me. I think I've just done a heinous crime. Mercedes, get a schmoove on. Yellow flag in Sector 3. Let me just take a look-see to see what that's all about. Team Red, unfortunately, I think around Parabolica, it's claimed 2 cars today, Parabolica. They're very sad to see. Here we go. Ooh, side-by-side action there. Sign and Burmeister. I think Sign managing to just slide through on Burmeister. And here goes an Alpine for an opportunistic move. But no avail. Tries to... Ooh, I bet he was thinking down the middle, but he's managed to get the move done on Burmeister, taking the wider line as Burmeister. Josh is now just going to put the burners on Hamby, actually slides on Ian right through Josh. And so does Kevin Cow. Burmeister gets through on side, and Hamby and Side are fighting. They're on the same team. They have the same common goal. And Josh Morton has plummeted. What has happened? Oh, pit lane. I'm a bit blind, okay, I can't really see. I'll be completely transparent, but I can't see. Yes, they are catching by about a 10th a lap, but this pace really does need to increase if they want to get David in the eye line. But I think, yes, Daisy has sight on David, but David also has sight on Team Red. I don't think we've had to deal with a lapped car this early, but I think we might have to, which is going to be a real issue, because there's so many of them in a big long queue, essentially all the way down to P8. And actually this lap car could help out Lazy and Nombre as well, because David will have to slow down a little bit. And Team Red has retired and crashed, I think, into Parabolica. Yes, Parabolica claiming another car. It's a virtual safety car. David pits, Nombre pits, Lazy stays out. Let's get the tyre data up, people. Let's take a look-see here what's happening. It'll be softs onto hards, or mediums onto hards, I would imagine. This is where you should have thought about running the soft tyre, I think, because now you don't really want to be on the hards. Although the mediums are a bit of a bad compound, apparently. Jens through a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Not very good. And someone opting for the softs. Snoopy opting for softs. Are they going to last? I don't know. We're not even halfway through the Grand Prix yet. I mean, we are... Oh, this has evolved to a full course. Full course safety car. So this race will not be going without a safety car. We've now moved to a full course safety car. So even on reduced safety car, we're getting one, which I think is okay. For a reduced safety car race, having one safety car is fine. It's where we have about 10. Or maybe 3, or maybe 5, or maybe 10, or maybe 15, or 20, or 25, or 30, or 35, or 40. Anyway, let's not think about that, shall we? Because it's not raining currently. I don't think it is going to rain because it's Monza and we have a wet qualifying. But, hello all 5 to 4 of you, I don't know, 4 of you, welcome. You've joined us amidst a safety car and I hope you're all enjoying the stream. Feel free to make yourselves known in chat. Lazy and Burmeister now pitting, which is going to mess them up a bit here, I think. Due to the nature of the safety car. Oh, actually, no, Smidge pitting. It's going to be whether or not David can get them down the straight, but under safety car, there's a certain delta you've got to hit. Oh, and he's just squeezed it. David, Bread, Lazy just manages to swat in Awetchi, Burmeister, Hamby, AJ, Josh, Sign, Kevin, Smidge, little Swampy Smidge, Snoopy, yeah, and Carragino, big. I had sugar, why am I like crashing? Hold on, I need more sugar. I've acquired more sugar, but it's safety car, so I don't really mind not talking for a minute. I mean, like, chew my sweet, I'm sorry, but it's like, I don't know, I get some people don't like eating sounds. I don't like eating sounds, so I'm gonna mute. And because I start eating, people leave. This is amazing. Wow. Let's get some shots under the safety car. Why not? Why not? Nice shots of the cars. Some of them trying to warm up new tyres. Some of them just being absolute beasts and just rolling through it like it's nothing. 2 Ineos cars. We've lost AJ down the order quite a bit. Here he is. P7 for AJ. There's a quick look at your tyres again. Go back to our positions changed. David now has brought this race back close together. So it's going to have to be another blinder from David to hit this race lead, because the 2 Mercedes will be in hot pursuit. And if those Mercedes slip up one time, Awetchi's going to be there to capitalise on their mistake. And so will the other quick maths, however many cars behind them. I can't do quick maths, I'm sorry. But I can do some maths. Such as there are 3 people in the stream time. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. As I think our safety car is going to get called in. But yes, it is. Safety car in this lap. See, I know this game so well. Alright. Let's take a look here. David's going to bring the pack right up close together, and then we're going to get going again. So, what's going to happen is David's going to be like, okay, let's let the safety car get into the pit lane. He's going quite fast, but he's there. And then he'll put his foot down, everyone else put their foot down, and then when he crosses the line, overtaking is permitted. So, Parabolico is a very weird corner. So he's very slow. Very slow. And I think he's gone there. Yeah, he is gone. But there's no overtaking until the line. David has gone, hasn't really managed. He's got the Mercedes. Oh, there was a front wing there. And there's been an Alpine, and I think a Williams there, caught up in a horrible T-bone crash, I think that was. We'll have to take a look-see at that in a minute, and the repercussions have been caused on it. David has lost out to Narnbred going into turn 1, but Narnbred has cut the corner. That must be a penalty. No, it isn't. Taking the escape road rightly, but gives the position back to David. I think that was a really, really considerate play there from Narnbred, and that is massive respect points for that. Narnbred playing not just the game, but the fair game. Burmeister and Owechi now at the front here, making a move. Burmeister takes a look, but Owechi really does just defend and shut the door. Not in a mean way, but shuts that door in his face. AJ manages to hold on to 6, Swampy up to 7. This is precedented for McLaren territory. Who was it who got caught up in this accident? I think it was Unbeaten Sign. I think it was, because that's a new wing, definitely. And Josh Morton. Because I think there's a missing M plate. Nope. Is it the other Alpine? Nope. Whoever it was Jens. There's a penalty. Jens received the penalty, I think. But anyway, back towards the front, we see them taking Parabolica now. The leaders, that is. I should specify. Narnbred following behind David, looking for a move like last time. I would imagine Dino's rethinking time penalty multiple trap number 1. Here he goes. Narnbred closing. David squeezes him out the track. Does very well and does it cleanly as well. No corner jumping this time for Narnbred, or any of the Mercedes for that matter. And here we see them now taking down in towards the king, which I can't remember the name of, and Narnbred has managed to get the move done before the braking zone. And now I can't see Lazy behind. There's Lazy behind. Has actually pulled the gap to Burmeister, surprisingly. Definitely didn't send you a video on me putting ketchup on my mac and cheese. I hate you. Why? Just why? Lazy has gapped Burmeister to a massive degree. And Owechi having to put up now with AJ as after getting past Owechi. Owechi could have been on for a podium, but I have a feeling those hopes may be diminished now as we are reaching the 10-lap remaining mark. Speaking of Mark, he's in third. But David is going to be looking for a move back on Narnbred. Let's get a look up at the battery charges on the telemetry. Here we go. Yeah, we go. Overtake being drained here. DRS is now enabled for the next lap. Whoever gets past now will probably get past again next lap. Because it's good, I don't care if ketchup on mac and cheese is good. Sounds disgusting. Narnbred manages to keep hold of the lead. DRS should hopefully aid David next time round. However, Lazy as well will be a beneficiary of the DRS. It's going to be a big DRS train all the way down to Burmeister because AJ is, I think, 1.1 second out. So actually, AJ might be able to close in. If AJ does close, then we're going all the way down to Cammy. And if that gap closes, we're going all the way down to Josh. But back towards the front. We have a little bit of DRS here. David is going to be gaining, but I don't think it's going to be enough for a move to be made. Don't mock it till you try it. I've tried ketchup, I've tried mac and cheese. They just don't go together, I'm sorry. The battery we're looking at here, David, beneficiary of the battery. Both Mercedes running about 40 to 50%. David running about 60 to 70. And AJ running about the same as well, down in P5. Here we go, DRS for David. Let's take a look on board. Narnbred is just flying away. He used a lot of battery there on the exit, not using the battery down the straight, either of them. But Lazy wasn't either. Burmeister behind on the white wall tyres. Quick look at the tyres for those who do want to take a look at it. There you go. The two mediums runners in front of the two hard runners. AJ should, in theory, bubble up. But it doesn't really work like that. You're missing out. I don't think I am. Respectfully, I don't think I am. Here we go. David really have stored up his battery for this lap. I think this lap or the next lap is going to be a massive attacking lap. Here we go. DRS has been enabled. He's quite far back. I think he might need to just tap into that battery store just a little bit to try and close that gap. Never mind, the DRS doing the work for him. Going round now, you can see the red and the green bars is the throttle. Very, very interesting data to look at. I wish I had the grass. It's like the throttle and brake grass. It's very cool. But here we go. I think, yeah, here we go. Overtake enabled. And Narnbread knows, but has way less energy to try and get any defenses going. You've burned a bit on the exit. David could do with burning some more, I think. But the DRS is gaining. Little tap in there could have maybe solidified it. But he refrains. Only really tapping on it on the exit. I wish I could have a graph of the brake and the throttle with the corner labels with the ERS deployment graph as well. That'd be really interesting to have that data, and I know there's a way to get that data. And actually, okay, sorry, while I've been watching about data and statistics, AJ has managed to slide on past Alechi. I think the tire choice of the hards may not have been the strategy to be on right now, which is unfortunate for some because they were forced onto that compound by the nature of their starting tyre. But then again, if everyone started on the same starting tyre, we would hardly have interest in races. And I wouldn't really have much to say because I'm more of a strategist than a racer. I can have a racer sitting here having a completely different commentary than what I would tell you about how different corners have different speeds. The three, oh my god, 3 wide, holy. Let's take a look at the front. David, Nambra, and Lazy, 3 wide. David retakes the lead, but it's going to be a fight with the 2 Mercedes. They're really deploying the battery. David has more though, saving it, burning it. And Nambred can't do anything. Lazy trying to support from behind. Nambred actually does get through on the lower battery, and Lazy does try and support, but going down round the inside, outside, doesn't really get it to work. On the exit though, burns that little bit of battery, and his front axle is ahead, and the move's been done. David has been... Oh no, David's still fighting this. David is still trying to fight this. Takes the curb a little bit. Lazy's going to cut the track. I think that's going to have to be a position hand back. But David is in the barrier. Somehow, that car is okay, but it is a virtual safety car. And Snoopy has retired from the session. As Snoopy crashed up ahead. Due to a repercussion of that accident, I think what's happened there is that David had caught a curb. Oh, and someone's been disqualified from the session. Okay. Someone's caught a curb. So David's caught a curb. He's gone. He's locked one way. He's locked the other way. He's gone cut across the track. Hasn't necessarily hit into Snoopy, but Snoopy had to take evasive action, which then sent him in a spin. And now we have a virtual safety car, which neutralizes the race. And Jens has dived into the pit lane for some reason for new sauce. Fastest lap attendant. But everyone's going to go on to new softs, I would imagine. As we do only have about 6 laps left. And if you're here, you might want something special here. And a front wing change. A front wing change for Narnbred has screwed Lazy over in the pit stop. And there's been a penalty there applied, I think. Or a front wing change to Lazy as well. Oh, Kevin Cow in the lead under the... Oh, it's a full course safety car. Okay, there's 2 safety cars. And Jens is getting a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flag procedures. I think there was 2 yellow flags. 2 but lots of penalties. I saw it flash up twice. Kevin Cow somehow... Okay, I see how. He hasn't pitted when everyone else has. But he's on 9-lap old tyres. And you know, This is where you don't need to understand F1 to know that something's messed up. You see Kevin Cow, right? So this is a full course safety car, which means the cars are all going to get bundled up together, right? We've seen this before. We've seen it happen earlier this race. Unlike a virtual, where the position you have is kept by a delta, which is a bit more confusing, but it means that the gaps don't close that they were in. There's still, like, if there was a 5-second gap before the VSC, there'll be a 5-second gap after the VSC. So, in that case, what he's doing is okay. However, what he has now done is it's our full course safety car. He is on 9-lap-old hard tyres, whereas everyone else is on 0-lap softs or mediums. Now, if you would like to hazard a guess on what's going to happen on these opening laps, I'm going to tell you. He's going to get overtaken by nearly everyone. Those tyres will last, but they won't be very good. And also Jens is, oh my god, we're going to have a long safety car period because Jens is in front of the safety car. So, essentially, what I would say is your provisional lead at the minute, Oechi, AJ, Narnbread. Narnbread has actually managed to keep it pretty in position, but Lazy, oh my god, got really scuffed over by his teammate in the pit stop. Oh my god, I ate the flip out of that ketchup mac and cheese. Oh my, you are disgusting. You're insane. You belong in a padded room, like, respectfully. But, right. This is an interesting one. This is a really interesting one. You know, Oechi could win this. By some miracle of God, Oechi could actually win this. I think he has a good shot. I think Oechi could actually be in for a win here. And I don't know if he's ever won before. This is this is the point where I message Roy. And apologies. I have to close the door. But I frantically message Roy and see if he answers. Apologies, people. I was doing something there. I hope you've enjoyed the footage of Jens just driving around at the back. So, what have we got happening right now? We're gonna have a restart, and I think Kevin Cow's gonna sink like a pebble in a tank. But if it was a crime, then you're gonna have to. I'm not sending you to jail. I'm sending you to a padded room. Here we go. Right, we should restart this lap, hopefully. It'll be a late call, but I think it needs to happen. Because we have 23 of 27 laps remaining. Yep, okay. Oh no, not again. Oh, you've been in a padded room before. Anyway. Back to the commentating, at which I am clearly a professional. We are going to get going. And not only that, we're going to have an interesting situation in our hands. Because Kevin Cow is about to watch the downfall of a Red Bull. Which, yes, I know you've already had that airing once today with Singapore, and I'm not sorry for bringing that up, David. But, and here he goes, Kevin Cow, on the restart. Takes a pretty good chunk out of Alechi. I'm just assessing right now. The gap seems very even. Kevin Cow has actually managed to pull away massively off that restart. Oh, Hamby sliding past Swampy. Swampy actually pretty high up from McLaren there. Lazy bubbling up now, as Lazy's going to want to try and weave through this pack effortlessly as quick as possible to help those Mercedes points, because right now I can't do the maths. I think Haas might be... Actually, no, I think Mercedes might be better. It depends if David can get in the points, which he's trying his best. He is definitely trying, making up the P12. I'm looking all around, up and down, left and right, roller coaster. Owechi is closing in, and the battery is being deployed, and it's side by side into Ascari braking zone. What's going to happen? Owechi is in the lead of the Grand Prix. Owechi in the Alfa Romeo non-break gets a 3-second time penalty from Ultra Track Limit warnings. There's not going to be enough time to pit and serve that. That is going to have to be applied after the race, which means Smidge and Hamby, and even if Narnbred does manage to get past here, could mean that he gets booted off the podium. Kevin Cow does stand a chance. Your podium currently: Owechi, AJ, Kevin Cow. The hard strategy might pay off if he doesn't lose too many positions, and it's not paid off because now Kevin. Oh, actually, Kevin's fighting for it. Kevin is fighting for it. He's trying his best to keep behind AJ, but Narnbred is now in the lead of the race, not critically, with a 3-second time penalty. Owechi is going to have to drive, and when I mean drive, I mean drive. I'm not sorry for anyone watching that in post, and no, I'm not going to be editing it in post. Roy, enjoy your broken eardrums. I hope you skip through the video and find this exact point. And then if you didn't hear what just happened, rewind it about 20 seconds, hear what happened, and then rage at it. That was just a mess. What has happened here? David's in the points critically, and David's overtaken Lazy. There's a little... Oh my god, it's all going on. It's all going on. There's a fight between Lazy and David, and there's a fight going on up at the front with AJ, Owechi, and David. Not David. And Narbred. Excuse me. And DRS is enabled. And Owechi, oh my god, Owechi's going to try it. Down the main straight, could lead to a disaster crash. Backs off just a bit safely, never mind. Keeps his neck in. But AJ's going to try and capitalize here. Little bumper, oh, onto the grass. Oh no, that's a crown. And that's a DNF. Oh, it was looking so well. It was looking so well for Owechi. I was praying for him, I really was. I was praying for him. Oh, Owechi, I know sometimes you tune into these. I'm sorry, man. Commentator's cut hit like a truck. I'm so sad to see that. But you drove amazingly, my friend. You drove amazingly. I'm not biased, I swear. Anyway, David actually managing to move up a lot of positions here compared to Lazy. I think Haas might be better scoring now. Oh, actually, never mind. I lie. Here we go. Lazy's going to try and make a move, and he has made a move on Kevin Cow. Kevin Cow has sunk like a pebble in a tank, and we're on to the last lap. Right. I'm going to say something, and I know they're both going to kill me, but AJ Mando podium incoming. Here we go. It doesn't need to happen on track, AJ. It doesn't need to happen on track. Now, what he's going to do is he's going to go around this lap, and he's going to try and get it on track, because he's an absolute... He doesn't listen to me. He's going to try and get it on track, and he's actually gotten it on track. Holy. Now, AJ has done... Hamby? Where's Hamby come from? Hamby's pulled a blinder on me again. Hamby's pulled a blinder on me. This is a miracle. Mitch in P4, what has happened? This has been, I hate to bring the word up, a lottery. Not because of the safety cars. But it never finished. These races never finish how they start. They never ever do. Like, it's Mercedes Haas. Never ever finishes Mercedes Haas. It's always like Mercedes Haas or Williams, Alpha Tauri. Smidge has pulled a blinder as well. Holy Smidge. Smidge is going to get on the podium. Anyway, let me avert my eyes for a minute. And first of all, AJ Mando, you have finally dubbed in Season 8 of League of MVP. Congratulations, you have come across the line to win the Italian Grand Prix. Hamby, P2, Smidge, P3, Mitch, P4, David, P5, Sign, P6, Narbred, P7, Kevin Cal, P8, Dino, P9, and Lazy, P10. That penalty really shaped things up for Haas there. Haas outscore Mercedes, moving them ahead in the championship. Now let me read this before I invite them to the party, because I always make that mistake of reading this. Anyway, here goes. Here's David, excuse me. Here's AJ on the podium, so unconfident coming in, but God, I bet he is feeling confident now. Look at him raising the trophy, alongside Smidge and Hamby. Oh my goodness, what a podium! And the Lazy Podcast has had some technical difficulties again, and will not be airing this week. But let's quickly read through this then, shall we? AJ takes P1 for Haas by starting P3 today. Very well done by AJ. Hamby from P4 goes to P2 for a final position. Then Smidge from P18, from last to podium. What a drive. Mitch P4, David P5, Sign P6, Narbred P7, Kevin Cal P8, Dino P9, Lazy P10, Swampy P11, Cammy P12, Jens P13, Josh P14, Oechi P15, Burmeister P16, Snoopy P17, and Team Red P18. Really unlucky for Oechi. And let's get the lads in here, because I have a lot to sort. I have a lot to oh. I have a lot to talk about with these guys. Sorry, my party's like broke there. No, not today. Hamby, I think, right? I hope it was Smidge and Hamby. Whew, wow. That was a good one. And once again, my theory stands. We always have good races when Roy just disappears. I'm sorry, Roy, but it's true. Let's see if I can get the lads in here. Podium lads, that is. Do I need to invite them again? I don't think... Oh, no, I don't. They're here. They're showing up now. Here's AJ. Hey, AJ.
Hello.
Mister, oh, I don't think I'm gonna win today.
Hey, that was very lucky, I'd say. Just took a little bit of luck there.
A little bit of luck. With a little rusties and a whole lot of luck. Yeah. You end up on the winning step of the podium.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to look back at my incident with Seb. Because I definitely thought I left... Yeah, I definitely thought I left the space.
Did you? Were you the one that offed him?
I don't think I did. I think he got a snap of oversteer and out of the corner and hit me.
I know what happened. I remembered now. You were side by side he then took the grass, and then by taking the grass, it caused oversteer. He went in, out, and then into the wall.
Okay.
I think it's more the grass, but he might be like, you put me on the grass. So, I don't know what's going to happen there. Also, it was Smidge on the podium, right? Not Dino.
I have no idea who was on the... Here, let me see.
I'm checking the replay. Hold on.
It looks like it was Smidge.
I think I added Smidge and not Dino. I hope I did. Yeah, it was Smidge.
Okay.
I hope I added Smidge and not Dino. I'm missing one. Let me ping him. Also, hello, Hamby.
Hey, Hamby.
Nice to see you again, Hamby.
Yeah. That race was a mess.
Yeah, I don't think that was my fault, honestly.
Yeah. Oh no, it was an incident every other lap.
What was that?
It was basically an incident every lap.
Oh yeah, there was. It was Eesh. That was a tough race.
You think it was a rough one?
That was definitely rough.
Yeah.
That was a grind.
Two people who had really good drives. Smidge, firstly. P18.
Yeah, what did he come back? Wow.
P18 last to podium. And Seb until he sadly met his demise.
Yeah.
I was heartbroken on the stream for him. I was like, he's doing so well. I literally messaged Roy, has Seb ever won before? Because I didn't know. Thank you for picking Smidge again. I'll give him like a minute. But for now, I guess I'll just talk to you lot. Hamby, you got P2 correct for Williams again. Nice to see you back up here. You seem to be becoming a frequent guest. So it's nice to see you. How was that race for you? I know you talked a little bit about it already, but
Absolute mess.
Yeah.
How that come? Was a mess.
Yeah. I messed quality up quite badly. I only did one lap with 5 laps of fuel in to start, and then just from there it just was a mess and managed to bring it back to P2.
It was, I think, another thing that happened was, I think a lot of people, like, it was, because it would flag up with virtual and then move to a full safety. I think people thought they could pit before, they pit under a virtual and thought it wouldn't go to a full.
Yeah, that happened to my teammate. We ended up losing a few positions double stacking.
Yeah, and I think it also happened at the end with, who was it who was leading the second safety car, the Red Bull?
Kev.
Yeah, because I think he stayed out on like 6 lap old hards, and I was like, if that was a virtual, I mean, fine, but a full safety car, I think it was just called as he went past the pits, so, sorry, Smidge just pinged me, and just said he couldn't make the interviews because he's been ill, and I hope he gets better. But sorry, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I think Kevin got hit with that VSC to SC thing. But of course, it was our first time, well, not our first time running reduced safety car, but it was our first time after that rule has been changed. And did you feel like that helped at all by changing that to a reduced? Do you think if that wasn't on reduced, we would have had more safety cars?
No, I think it would still be the same. I think it'd have been a straight up safety car, not virtual first, if it was on standard.
I guess then there's that sort of like pro and con. I don't know. Maybe it's something we'll debate. The league will have to debate about again at the mid-season because I know that's coming up soon, I think. When is that coming up? That's a great question. That's coming up. Oh, literally after the next race. It's fine. Yeah, there might be something to debate at the next mid race, the mid season. Talking about your constructors again. You seem to be doing very well. Being on the podium consistently is really going to help you out here. And you're currently third. And I think you might stay third, but how do you feel about that, being third in the constructors at the minute, having a good wedge in the door?
Good. I'm just hoping to try and keep with, is it AJ and Lazy or George?
George.
Yeah. Yeah, just hoping to keep with them two and then see what I can pick up in future races.
I mean, being up there consistently is a great start, but then it's where to go up from. So I mean, congratulations though. Nothing to shake a stick at, and also Williams being 6 points off Haas and Mercedes. I mean, after today they won't be, but you might actually overtake Mercedes in the constructors.
I think we will, because Thingy spun on last corner.
Yeah, I noticed there was a lot of Mercedes. So I think it was 6th and 10th. I think one podium is more points. Yeah, so you'll overtake them easy. And Haspel as well. But hey, second in the constructors, nothing to shake a stick at. Do you feel like you're doing your part to the team?
Yeah.
That's great. Anything you feel like the team can work on, especially in regards to your teammate trying to get him up there more consistently into closer to where you are, or do you think that's just going to come with time?
I think it'll just come with time he gets up there.
Fair. Understandably. I think that's the only way things ever happen is by time. But yes, so congratulations on another podium in P2 as well. Maybe one day it'll be a P1, who knows?
Yeah.
But congratulations, Hamby. You can leave if you want, you can stick around, I don't mind. But I will now talk to AJ. AJ?
Hello. Hello.
How are you, my friend? Congratulations on the P1, your first dub of the season.
Yep, I think it was a long time coming. But yeah, we'll see if it stands. I think I avoided most of the incidents. The one with Seb, I feel like I have enough of a case, and I left them more than enough room.
I had a really good shot of it on the stream as well, so you can just use the footage from that. I literally had the footage from the front of both of your cars, so you can see if there was space.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, it was crazy. Did not expect to end up P1 at middle of the race there. I can't believe I avoided that I think it was David, Mark, and Burr collision.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Off the track and then got on, he then swept across the track and then swept back across it.
I very narrowly avoided damage there, so I was very lucky.
It set Snoop offline, and then he crashed on his own, which then
jeez,
saved the car. Yeah. That was quite the.
But yeah, I mean, I just kept my head, when I was getting past there at the beginning. Just started conserving my ERS. I didn't make any stupid decisions. And then I also don't know what happened to both Mercedes after the second round of pit stops.
Under the second safety car, it was Narnberg came in first, who had a front wing change which scuffed over Lazy. Lazy then apparently spun on the last lap.
Okay, I was wondering what happened to them, because at least George should have been in front of me. I knew I was going to be ahead of Mark.
Yeah.
But I thought for sure George would be ahead of me, but it worked out in the end. And yeah, I mean, pace was I definitely didn't have the straight line speed some of these guys did, but I had it on the corners, which at the end of the day helped me stay within DRS. And I mean, I was able, when the driver in front didn't have DRS, I was able to catch him and pass him because I was quicker on the straights.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, on the corners. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with it. Unfortunately, David
didn't survive.
He had the win and just got unlucky again. Again, it was maybe a little bit my fault for not being up there with him. Because he was being attacked by both Mercedes drivers. He did. He really pulled the gap. And I'll admit the Mercedes team games today were in full effect, and we felt it.
I noticed that. Yeah.
We definitely felt it. So, but yeah, I mean, David had a great recovery from P12 with 2 laps to go. So. You know,
and I think as well,
it was a good day.
I believe you owe me a $5 for a wet weather session because it was a wet qualifying.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with my pace in the wet quali.
Yeah,
I was very happy with that.
To finally see Mercedes Haas, and there's a Williams.
Yeah, and it did not disappoint.
It did not, no. But no, that was amazing as well. And
yeah,
if I had to say one more thing, what was I going to say? I was going to say something, but I completely forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, you overtake Mercedes in the constructors, so congrats.
Yes, thank you. And I should be on level on points with Mark after this weekend. So there's that too.
Yes, I think so, actually.
Yeah, I should be. So it's all to play for.
Wait, did you get fastest lap?
I did not, no.
You might be 1 point shy.
How many points do I have?
You have 60 currently, so plus 24, 84, which what Lazy currently has. Lazy came P10 plus 1.
Okay.
85.
Still, all to play for.
All to play for, 100%. Very, very close. Very, very happy to see it. Well, I'll let you go because we're hitting our 8:30 run time. So
okay.
I will probably see you up here another day. But congrats everyone, and congratulations to AJ for dubbing, of course. So
thank you.
I will, see you. Enjoy.
See you, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you for joining, everybody. It was nice to have you all here in chat. Mac and cheese and ketchup is an awful combination. I think next week should be in Suzuka. Yes, it is Japan, Suzuka. So please do join us for that. That'll be amazing. I should be here. So yeah, same place, same time, next week, Suzuka. Should be good fun. Very close in the championships now. Mid-season point approaching. Do not miss out. So I'll see you all next week for Suzuka. See ya!